But in the page number 87, it says how to validate the SAS metadata server, SAS workspace server, and pooled workspace servers.
Oh, no, not in the. Okay, then go to 65.
1 second.
86 as in the total, excluding the glossary and appendix, and 87 is including all those numbers, the preface and the foreface, both.
You mean to say, okay, 65, right? You told? 1 second. Yeah. SAS connect, SAS share. No, not even here I could see any Unix commands.
Don't worry, just simply. Okay, I think Hemant is fine.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Hemant.
Yeah. Hi. So have you guys revised and through all the topics which were covered? You guys have any doubts until now? I think there must be somebody who should join. Gunjan, you are saying something like you practice something on server. What did you practice? Okay, so let me just start off where I stopped last session. So we discussed about backups. Why do we do backups and how to do backups? Several different ways of backing up, and what are the different types of backups we have. So today we'll just have a brief overview on after backup. What is that we do? I mean, anytime if we have to recover the server. So this notes is not from the real-time experience. This is from the documents which I have read. I have made my own notes. So I don't know how applicable it is in the real-time work environment, but this will give you an idea as to how you recover your metadata server. Okay. So here are the steps. If your metadata server is, if you have to recover your metadata server, that means then you will have to log on to your Unix box and stop the server. Okay. When I say stop the server, you have to kill all the processes which are running with a metadata server. So for that you need to use kill command. So there are certain Unix commands. See, there is nothing. I am showing it on screen. Okay. I'm just telling it from my notes because you cannot kill process. There is no Unix box on my machine. Yeah, kill -9, kill -2, kill -15. You can use anything. Kill -9 forcefully kills all of them, or forcefully you can kill it. Okay. So then what you will do is you will copy your current configuration information to a safe place. Whatever the configuration directory and whatever the configuration information is there, you will copy it to the safe place, so that your logs and configuration things, so that when the technical support, even you have to contact technical support team, they should be able to go over these logs and configuration files. So better to place them in a separate path, and try to start the server with using a recover option. So in the directories, so this is in the Windows system. I'll just show you. So this is the same file directory structure, almost similar file directory structure you will have on the Unix box. So if you go to your SAS, so and so 11 SAS metadata server, you will find metadata server.sh. Here in the Windows, you will have batch file. On the Unix machine, you will have sh file, the shell script file. So if at all you have to start your metadata server, you will give something like, dot slash metadata server.sh space. If you want to start it, you will use start. If you want to stop, you want to use stop, pause, or you can give pause option also, but in this case you will give hyphen recover. So what it will do is it will start recovering your metadata server. So where does it recover from? It recovers from your latest backup of your metadata repositories, repository manager, and configuration files. Okay, so you know that, right? Every 1 second. So those components gets restored, because every day we will backup, right? So from the latest backup, the metadata server recovery option will take the recover from the latest backup. Okay, so that's how you recover. If at all that doesn't work, there is another process. I'm not sure if you will be able to follow that, but just keep that in mind. If at all, when you start it in the recover option, if it doesn't work, then what you have to do is you have to do a manual recovery. Okay, for manual recovery, what you have to do is, first of all, delete your repository manager and metadata repository, whatever the files which you are currently having on your machine, just delete it and copy. So manually copy from the backup folder wherever you have, not using any options, just trying to do a CP. If it is on the same server, if it is on the different server, take the files from, you have to FTP those files from your other server to the local machine, to this particular directory. Okay, copy the files, your configuration files, and all the necessary files, and start the metadata server. Only start metadata server, like empty metadata server.sh space start. Okay, once you give that, metadata server will start, and after you do after the metadata server starts, you can use your SAS management console to actually recover. Now after that, you can use this option, recover from alternate location, and you can recover. And you can recover your this option. What it does is, it will recover your metadata repository and your repository manager. This happens only if your recover option does not work. You have to copy the files forcefully and then do the recover option. And after that, after the recovery, you need to run the tool. You will have a tool, analyze and repair metadata tool, metadata analyze and repair tool.
So where that would be?
You will have to install it when you are doing your SAS installation. Right now I don't have it on your machine, but that's what I'm saying. This is not a real-time thing which I'm saying. I just made notes from the guides which I've read. So in the guide it is mentioned that usually if the recovery happens, they'll run a metadata analyze and repair tool. So it will show what are the issues, why repair has failed initially, and how much time the repair took, and all the properties. Okay, what has been recovered and all. Okay, so
So
that.
is that also a plugin? I mean, will that be in the SAS management console?
No, no, no. It's a separate.
Even regarding the part in environment, similar or it would
Hello.
yeah.
Yes.
Unit, the installation in unit.
You're not audible.
Yeah, once you do the
What is your doubt? I can see your text, but what is your doubt? You don't have another headset? Is there any problem with your headset? What do you? Oh, I don't understand. What do you mean similar environment? You mean the similar file structure? It depends. I mean, while installation you give it, but GUI. See, all these softwares, they are all installed on your. So you need to have this. You are installing your SAS server tier and SAS middle tier on your Unix server. Okay, but your client applications, your DI, your EG, your SAS management console, all these desktop applications will be installed on a Windows machine only. So everybody access them from the Windows machine only. Okay, and all these are similarly, how we have, you can either install all the softwares on every user's machine, or what they'll do is usually install all of them in a Citrix server and give access to
can you repeat,
individual users so that they'll be able to access those applications.
can you repeat from the beginning? I did not get the name.
See, your metadata server, your server tier and your middle tier will be installed on your Unix machines most of the time. It depends from organization to organization, but most of the time they'll be installed on your Unix machines only. Your client applications, they will be not, your all these desktop applications, they will not be installed on your Unix machines. They will be installed on your Windows only. What they'll do is they will have a Citrix server and they will have a Windows OS on that, and they'll install all these applications and give access to that Citrix server. So every user will log on using a remote connection to that server and access those client applications. So usually all these GUI applications are installed on your Windows machine, but the servers are the server tier and middle tier are installed on your Unix machines.
So in that case, we would be working on, I mean, the GUI applications, or on the, I mean, we need to know the Unix commands.
Your GUI is going to be, your client applications, desktop applications are going to be something similar like this only. But
okay,
your file structure here, all these you can see, right?
Yeah.
This will not be in your Windows machine. They will be all in your Unix machine.
Oh, so to extract that, we need to know the Unix commands, right?
To traverse to the file to do a copy, and you cannot just directly do. You can just metadata server. You can directly run as an administrator and double click it. But there you cannot do it. You have to do /metadata server.sh space, so you have to give commands there. So that's a different thing. I mean, Unix, you will have to operate in a different way. So for that you need Unix commands. In the next session, we will discuss some important Unix commands which I have shortlisted. So I'll tell you what those Unix commands are. So
Okay, so is there any specific guide or any document or something which is related to the SAS? What Unix commands are used in the real time?
but you should I think ask Satish, he will give you access to his website. There are certain materials and videos there. So you can also Google it and find important Unix commands used in administration point of view. So you should be able to get some. But in the data science website of Satish, there are some videos. So those videos are helpful for at least for beginners. You should be able to do that. But you go through any Unix videos on YouTube.
Can you share the data science video?
I cannot share it. You ask Satish. He is the owner of that website. I only have read access. I don't have the edit permission. So the next part is after recovery, metadata management. So metadata management, how do you back up?
Hello? Hello, Hemant, it's not possible to hear you properly?
Hello, is it
Yes.
am I audible?
No, you're not audible at all.
Now?
No.
Hello,
Hello?
am I audible now?
Yeah, it's better.
Can you guys put yourself on mute, please? Thanks. So the next part is what is licensing, like license renewals, all your SaaS components, your desktop applications, or your what do you say, your SaaS license, your SaaS software, it works and it has a license. When you buy it from SaaS, it is valid to a certain extent. So you'll have to keep track of when your license expires, and you need to coordinate and get the new license file, which is called SID file. So we have to request for you have to give your site number, SaaS site number, and you need to request for a new license update. Once you get the license update, you use SaaS deployment manager. Okay, you use I repeat, you use SaaS deployment manager to update the license information. Okay, so how to check the license information in metadata? So metadata, it has, I told you, right, this one it got expired on May 13th to May 13th 2013. How do I get to know? You need to see, it is showing here May 31st 2013 it expired. So it is not allowing me to log on to the base SaaS. What I'll have to do is I'll have to change this and change the date and start the services again, and it will help me. There is a proc statement which will give you the license information. So proc set init, run. If you give that in base SaaS or in EG, it will give you what is the license date, when it's going to expire, and all that stuff. Okay, you use SaaS deployment manager, remember that. Okay, and in the metadata manager also you can find it in the metadata utilities. See, this is the metadata manager. Here is where you will take the backups and recovery in the metadata manager. Metadata utilities. It has to be import metadata export. Management view set in details. It has to be somewhere here.
Hey man, you can directly go into the file structure in SAS and look up the log file.
What log files?
There is a metadata log file there.
Yes.
You showed us that way, yes, the day before yesterday or something.
No, I'm checking this license information.
Oh,
I'm checking the license information. You can give it from the proc statement, or you can give it in the document. It is saying like go to metadata manager, metadata utilities, right click, and you will be able to view set init details somewhere here. So it will give you the date when it's going to expire and all.
but it's not showing here.
No, it's not showing. It should. I mean, here I remember checking it sometime back. When I right clicked here, it showed it, but I'm not sure why it is not showing now. Okay, we'll check that. But remember that you can check that license information through metadata manager option also.
If you don't want to use metadata manager, any other way to see the log file?
Man, you're listening to what I'm. Hima, can you answer that question?
Sorry?
Can you answer this question?
No, from the SAS through the message log we could see it, right?
No, there are two ways of checking the license. I told. What are the two ways?
The proc set init and run in the enterprise guide in the SAS editor.
Yes. Gunjan, you got that?
No, Hemant, I'm not talking about the proc. I'm talking about any other way apart from those two.
What I'm showing right now, can you able to see this from SMC?
Yeah.
This is another option, right?
No, because this we are not able to see the results using this option.
Arey Baba, you are not able to see. That's what I'm trying. But this is the only way. There are two ways. Either you check it from the code or check it from SAS Management Console. I don't know. There is another way. You check it and let me know if you find any other way.
Oh.
So I told you that I'll show you several different backups, right? So here in the metadata manager, if you go to server backup, utilities, server backup, this is one way of running the backups, right? And the other way is, this is called metadata server backup and recovery tool. So this is the metadata server tool, and import and export metadata. You can find it from metadata server, active server. This is import and export, okay? This is importing and exporting metadata. This is another way of importing and exporting metadata. And the third way is, go to folders. Here, from here you can use any folder. You can import and export SAS package, okay? So there are three ways. When somebody asks like how many ways you can import and export metadata server content, you should be able to say like, you know, metadata from metadata utilities, metadata server backup tool, and then you can use it from import and export. Both are in from metadata manager, and from the folders also you can do import and export wizard, okay? So why I am telling you this import and export is, this becomes important when you are promoting content, okay? The backup is fine, okay? You are backed up, you have backed up your content and you are recovered. But promotion, what does promotion means? Like, you know, you are working in a development environment, you then to QA, then to prod. So you have to, if you have to move anything, any content, so you will have to export that content first and then import in your another environment. So export that content. If you are exporting any SAS content, it will be stored as .spk, okay? SAS package SPK, it will get stored in SPK. So once you export that file, you will have to transfer it to, I mean, using, if it is in dev, if it is in QA, you can use FTP or SFTP and move that package to your next environment if you want to move it to prod. And from prod, you place it in a file directory structure anywhere, and then use import, okay, to import those files. So that is, I know, on what do you say, a broader way of what I mean by promotion. Okay, you will work on promotions as well. So the first thing is you will have to promotion tools. Difference between import packages and okay, when do you use promotion tools? I mean, when do you want to use promotion? When you're moving your content from test to production, or when you have to do any migration, like, you know, when you have to migrate from 9.2 to 9.3, then you have already migrated your SaaS servers, your third party, I'm sorry, middleware, mid-tier and everything. Now you have to migrate your content as well. So you export that content and then import it in your new environment. So basically in these three circumstances we use promotion tools. So what can be promoted? Your libraries, your tables, your SaaS jobs, your OLAP cubes, information maps, reports, all these objects can be promoted. Okay, your security objects. When I say security objects, your users, groups, roles. So how do you do that? Go to folders, system, security, your access controls, users, groups, roles, all these can be exported and imported. Okay. So one way you can use promotion is when you have to, these are the folders. What are the folders? Folders are used to organize your content. Okay, like, you know, when you are using shared folder, all these data, all the data which users are working on, it gets shared in stored in shared data, and every user will be able to access it. Other than that, they will have personalized folders also where they can put their own stuff. So they are working, it will not be accessible to others. So if you are working in a separate personal folder and if you want to move it into a development folder, so you need promotion tools to, you know, export that content first and import it in your another folder. So if you have to maneuver the content in the folders, then also you need to use promotion tools. Okay. So, and one more important thing, if you use SaaS import export wizard, or if you are using metadata server backup and recovery, or you are using SaaS import export tools, anyway it is going to create the same file, okay, .spk. And suppose if you are exporting it from this tool and importing it with the help of this tool, it's not a problem, you can do that. Okay, you understand? That means you can export with one method and import with any other method, because at the end it's going to create the same file. Okay, so the package format is same regardless of whether it is created using SMC, DI, OLAP, I mean any using any tool. So one important thing which you should be so one important thing, what are the things which you should take care of when you are promoting? This is important. So what things you should keep in mind at a general level, if you have to see what objects which you are what are the objects which you are interested in promoting. First, keep a track of those objects, and how do you filter that content from the total content. Just make sure you have a pretty good picture of what you are promoting, and then see what are there any dependencies for that content. For example, if you are promoting reports, so the reports are based on information maps. So if you are promoting reports and if you export and import reports, it will not work in the new environment because the underlying information maps are not present. So you need to identify the dependent objects also and promote them as well. Okay. So how do you do that? You do that using BI lineage. So what is this BI lineage? You understand lineage, right? Lineage is like, who is connected to whom. It shows like, father, son, grandfather. Any lineage shows the hierarchical structure. So a BI lineage, you select any object, you create a new BI scan and give the name and location, and it's for a particular object, it should be able to give its whole complete hierarchical structure. So based on that, you should be able to identify like if this report is connected to that information map. So if I'm promoting this report, it is important that I promote that information map also. Okay. So all the dependency objects must also be promoted when you are doing that. So these are all the so this is basically about promotion. One thing I wanted to cover is some object types. There is option, extrude, okay, metadata association, vibration, physical fans, multiple with physical guidance. Send physical guidance. One thing I forgot to tell. Hello. So one thing I forgot to tell you is, okay. So if you are you are promoting from test environment stage to say your prod environment. So you have to make sure that if you are copying a library or a physical file from a location to say a location in the prod, a location in the dev environment to a location in the prod environment. So you should also have that particular directory structure in the prod environment. So you have to make sure that the physical directories are available in the target. Okay. So that is one important thing. And you should, when you are promoting, you should have sufficient rights on that particular directory so that you are easily able to import that content there. So what are the preparations to use promotion tools? What are the important things which you should keep there? Your servers, your metadata server, your workspace server, your stored process server, your content server, your object spawner. They should be up and running properly. Okay. You should note the dependencies and the associations of all the objects which you are trying to promote. You should have the destination, target, folder structure properly established before you are promoting anything. Okay. And if it is a large file you are trying to export and import, and if it's taking a lot of time, what you can do is you can break that large file into a smaller file and export and import based on that. So I don't know how you do that, breaking that stuff into smaller pieces, but this is just to give an idea as to how to deal with larger files to increase the effectivity. So this is what it was there in the guide. If you can't, you increase your memory, perform multiple import and export operations on smaller files. So you have to break the larger file into smaller files, and instead of using one import export statement, you need to use multiple import export statements.
Hemant, can you tell a few scenarios where we will be working on the Unix environment and the other on the SAS management console?
Unix environment, so I'll tell you where you use Unix environment. Mostly I wanted to cover it tomorrow, but now that we are
Okay. It's
uh,
okay then. If you have scheduled it for tomorrow, then that should be fine. We can discuss it out tomorrow.
we will clearly discuss all the unique tasks. I've noted it somewhere. I'm not able to find it. I'll tell you on a general level. I'm not that I know completely about it. As far as my experience.
Hemant, we barely hear you. Can you?
Hello, am I audible now?
No.
Hello.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. So yeah, tomorrow I'll tell you on what task you do usually on the Unix environment and some of the commands which I have noted. Okay. So that and then you can take that information.
Hello?
I don't know what's that background noise. Hello. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. So I'll give you those Unix commands so you can practice. You can search Unix tutorials in YouTube also, therapeutic Unix tutorials.
Okay, Hemant, I also had a doubt. So in promotion, um, do we also need to do the migration part for uh, server tier and also for um, middle tier?
Not every time, but if your organization is planning for a migration from 9.2 to 9.3, first of all, you will do a migration of your server tier and middle tier, and all your client applications will stay as it is. I mean, if you don't want to, if the same version of client applications are working on a new server, then you don't have to migrate those client applications. Once you have updated, you are migrated. So in the installation, what it will happen is, suppose you have 9.3 right now, you are migrating to 9.4. You have ordered for a 9.4 software, you will get the installation file. When you start the installation, as in Wizard, you try to do it. In the installation steps, it will show you, are you trying to migrate or are you trying to install a fresh stuff. So my trainer, what he said is, do not migrate. We don't use migrate. If you are migrating it from 9.3 to 9.4, what he said is, install a fresh 9.4 and then update your content from 9.3 to 9.4, he said. So don't use the deployment wizard to directly, because there might be some configuration issues, he said. But to answer interview questions, you can say directly, you can use deployment wizard and do that stuff. So once your sub tier and middle tier is configured and installed 9.4, then
So
you
do
can
we need
take this
to
promotion.
do promotions? Do we need to promote again to from like production environment to dev environment to prod environment?
Depends on the requirement.
Like what in your like reading, did you find any such instance where they did that? Like any of the technical papers that you referred to, did you come across any time where they did promotion of
See, it did not explicitly provide like where you did it, but it said like you do it when you are promoting your content from, suppose if you have your reports, you have set up your security model like users and groups in your test environment. You have a lot of web reports or your code stuff. You have your jobs on your, you have designed your jobs in your tested, you have designed in your development, you have tested it in your test environment. Now you have to promote those jobs, those reports, those users to prod environment. There where you use your promotion tools.
So my last question to you now, while doing the installation for SAS, the manage, you said that server tier and middle tier would be installed on Unix machine, and all the client apps and the desktop apps, management console, enterprise guide, and SAS based, everything needs to be installed on a Windows machine. So when you do that, how do you connect the SAS tier, middle tier with the client apps and the controls, the management console?
Sorry?
How do you connect both the servers together? That's my question. You said that you generally do it on a Citrix server, and in the Citrix server you do it on the Windows server.
You have to configure your client applications so that they'll connect to your, suppose for example your enterprise guide, your DI studio, whenever you process something, the request goes to your workspace server. So how does that go? So you have to configure your, when you are installing your client application, you have to install your configure your enterprise guide or DI studio in such a way that it connects to your workspace server. For suppose if you are using your OLAP studio, it should connect to your OLAP studio to process. So there is a configuration thing. If you I haven't got much into detail of that, but that details are given in your desktop application guide. Okay, so read the desktop application guide. Maybe there it will show you how the configuration is done.
No, like I think we are still not able to get the question. My question is that how to
I did not hear you. I mean, I did not able to. I was not able to hear you.
Hemant? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is like when I have downloaded the files in my Mac, I got like 12 zip folders. So is it so like that?
12 zip folders.
24.
You should get 24.
I have just got like 12 zip folders when I downloaded it in the Mac.
Individually, I mean, you did not do individually.
Sorry?
You download
No.
all.
There's a lot of background disturbance from your end, Hemant.
It's not from my side. I mean, Gunjan, can you mute your this thing? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it is clear now. Sorry?
did you not download each and every part individually?
I have done it like on the whole.
Oh God. You have to do it individually, ma.
You
Because
mean to
I
say like
don't.
all the 24 parts individual download, you mean?
Yes, I mean every part you just right click and do a download. I don't know how many. See, if you, I'll see your screen and just show me what are the parts download. That will get randomly downloaded. That's okay. We will. What are the parts which did not get downloaded? You have to download explicitly.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Did I tell you that you have to download each and every part individually?
Sorry?
I think I emphasized on this point that you should download each and every part carefully, because what happens is from Google Drive, if you are downloading that, I think it has a restriction as to amount of download you need. It will take place in a particular session, so that will not allow you to download all the parts at a time.
Okay, see, because when I could see here the shared with me SAS 9.3, there was an option stating like there was a download when I right clicked that. So when I clicked on the download, all the files got downloaded, just only the 12 parts were there in that.
Okay, can you share your screen?
Sure, I'll do that.
Meanwhile, Hemant, I have written my doubt in the.
I did not understand your doubt.
You did not get my doubt.
I did not get your doubt.
Okay. So and once again I'll tell it quickly. So you said that we can install the server tier and middle tier on Unix machines, and then all the other client applications, desktop applications, everything on the Windows machines. So once you do that, because there will be two different machines, how do you connect both the machines? That's my question.
That is to your current application so that they will connect to your server tier. Okay, you use your I mean, I don't know what protocols, what HTTP protocols for web applications or all the different protocols, but that information is there in the desktop administration guide. I did not get into much detail, but what it does is when you are installing your enterprise guide, it will ask for the connection details. It will ask for which server which you want to connect and all those stuff and the port numbers. Okay, you know the importance of port numbers. With that port number, it will connect to that particular server. If it is an enterprise guide, it has to connect to workspace server. If it is an OLAP Cube Studio, it will definitely has to work on an OLAP server.
Yeah,
So that's where
workspace is in metadata server, right?
yes, everything is defined in the metadata server.
Great, thanks.
Hima, can you?
Yeah, the thing is like, can you type the Srivalli's MacBook Pro in your Finder sidebar?
Finder?
Mm-hmm.
Which Finder?
I mean in your Finder, in the Finder sidebar, can you, because I have put my screen sharing on, but it's not coming up.
No. Here in the admin, I'll give you promoter. Okay.
Okay.
Presenter. Can you share it now?
Can you see it now?
No, 1 second. Did you share it here in the WebEx?
How to do that? Can you tell me, please?
Open the WebEx.
Okay.
Did you open WebEx?
Yeah.
There is an option share screen.
Share screen. No, where can I see it exactly?
In the top tab, is there a quick start? Meeting
Yeah, there is this, I mean, there is a tab called, there is a new whiteboard.
No, there is on the top. There, can't you see quick start?
Nothing.
Huh? How come?
Yeah, sorry, it's there. Quick start, sorry, it's there. Yeah, I'll do.
So, can you show me what all you have downloaded? Can you go to the folder? Download folder. No, folder on your machine, I mean.
So these are the downloads, right?
Your downloads folder in the Mac, not in the browser.
Oh, okay.
Here you'll have it right side corner. Okay, so you have see, this is what happens. Everything should be of the same size. See, the second part, it is only 1.5 GB.
Yes, yeah.
That's the problem. You know, some parts don't get downloaded. So what you can do is, for the time being,
Okay.
Download 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, download first part, second part.
Okay.
I don't know for what that first one is. What is that?
So this one?
Which part?
It has a folder of everything. I mean, let's say like from 1 to 12. It has a folder and everything zipped in that.
How many?
It has 12.
So you said you are getting your Windows machine, right?
Yeah, I got it, but I thought like I can download it here, everything. Then I thought I could import it from here to there.
Why? You don't have that much space on your Mac, right? Why don't you do it on your Windows machine?
Okay, then I'll do that in there itself.
No, it's simple. I mean, don't get confused, because why I'm telling you is, even if one file gets corrupted, it won't work for you. So that is
Got
my
it.
problem. I already had to waste a lot of time when I did it. So my suggestion would be, if at all, if you want to use these files, you are good to use these files. Can you close this part? Oh,
Yeah.
first part. You can use, I think, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can use, but you have to download first and second parts again.
Okay.
Download each and every part. Right click, go to the browser.
Mm-hmm.
Right click,
Okay.
down. Don't click on remove. Once you click on remove, it will be removed from forever. I will not be able to upload again.
Got it. Okay.
So download it. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
download each and every part. Okay. Do it on
Okay.
your Windows machine,
Okay.
so that it will be easy for you.
Okay.
I think it should not take, if you have a good internet speed, each and every part, if you download it, it's not take.
Yeah, because Gunjan, is it possible for you to unmute yourself? I mean, sorry, mute yourself?
Okay. So my suggestion would be, delete all the stuff which is there in your Mac. Forget all that. Go to your Windows machine. If you have everything like your browser setup, and download each and every part individually, and then do a WinRAR and extract the first part. Okay.
Okay, and I have one more question to ask. So, because I got my new machine, so will there be any setup stuff which I need to do before I install all this?
You need to have your VM player. That's it. You
I
need to
mean, like
there is
any
nothing else to do.
antivirus or something, do I need to install before in hand?
I don't. I mean, it's good to have your antivirus, but I mean, good to have your antivirus and good to have your network connection set up. Your Wi-Fi, everything is working.
Okay,
Your browser, one web browser, obviously.
okay,
I think you should good. You should be good to go.
okay, that's fine. Then I'll do it now.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, guys. Then I think no, I'll talk about more tomorrow about Unix and all that stuff. There's some other topics which I wanted to cover, which I couldn't cover today. So I'll talk about them tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
What fixes? What fixes?